Well, I like teaching. I like the act of teaching. I like when I'm doing it. I like the interplay with the students in the classroom. I'll use a cliche. I always learn from them, to some extent, as they learn from me. I hope. I like the idea of when I was an undergraduate. I had a friend who popped a pair of headphones on my ear and put a record. That's how long ago it was. It was a record, and put a record on a turntable. And for the first time, I heard Monteverdi, the Vespers, and it literally changed my life. I'd never heard Renaissance music. I'd never heard early Baroque music. I grew up on a diet of pop music or Broadway, and he'd given me this enormous gift, and I felt that way about nearly everyone who taught me. I was a medieval history major. I got this enormous gift of finding out about things I didn't know about. And one of the things I like about teaching theater is we're bombarded with it. We're not necessarily theater in live form, although I wish we were bombarded more with that. We're bombarded with movies and television and entertainment and things like that. And most people think everything began when they arrived on the scene. And so it's fun to watch the students listen to Ella Fitzgerald for the first time in the American musical class singing George Gershwin, or watch them encounter some of the plays we do, which are maybe outside their comfort zone intellectually or emotionally, or hit Shakespeare for the first time. We do a Shakespeare every year, and actually see it as opposed to read it on its feet live, interacting with them in the audience, and they become part of that creative process. And that's what I like about teaching as well. They become part of the process. It's not simply I stand here and lecture and you listen to me and regurgitate it. I want to know what you think, and I'm fortunate to teach in areas in which nothing is alien to studying theater. I always tell actors, read, experience, do whatever you can, because eventually you'll use it on stage. And with my students, we manage to talk about a lot of different things in the classroom and bring it back to theater. I always tell them I'm not actually trying to turn them into actors. I don't teach that. We have another professor here who does. I want to turn them into a good audience member so that live theater will continue. I have a reputation for being sarcastic, which is probably earned, but my I hope my students understand that my business is to teach them, and they are the most important people in the room while I'm actually talking to them, and I think they do. I have a generally pretty good relationship with my classes. I have always been lucky enough to do what I love to do. And what was really wonderful was that I didn't know I loved to do it until I started doing it. And Belmont Abbey has been sort of a place that gave me scope. It has given me the chance to do a lot of things and teach, direct plays, serve on various committees, be involved in the ongoing life of this community, which has been sort of an unalloyed pleasure for 40 years. Um, I got a chance to have conversations that changed my life, to know people who changed my life, to marry someone who changed my life. Um, Basically, largely because I was here. And I think that's what keeps me going when I get up in the morning. That it's never boring. It's always going to be different. People have come and gone. So there's been enough variety of people that you don't get bored. But the students change every year. There's a new crop coming in. And then there is the idea of what are you going to be? Not just in 4 years, but what are you going to be in 10, 15, 20 years? What am I going to feel like when you walk through the door of the theater, which happens with your children coming to college here? And I look at you and think, oh my God, you're 18 and you have a grown child. But you get to see how people turn out. And so you sort of get a reward here, as well as hopefully later.